and construction time is money. So when you have a delay, it costs everybody more money. It costs the developer owner more money. It costs the contractor more money because you got to pay people for a longer period of time before you get the project done, plan done. So everybody loses when there's a delay on a construction project. And usually you can pinpoint the schedule because a critical path methodology schedule is one that sets out where is the path through the different trades from beginning to end, that if that little path, that little portion that they call them fragments, gets delayed, okay, that it'll delay other work that's dependent on it being completed before it can get done. Because in construction, you have to put the foundation in before you can start to put the outside structure of the building up. Before you can go vertical, you got to have a foundation to go vertical on. And so concrete foundations are clearly on the critical path for building the framing of a building. You can't even start it without that being done. You can't put in windows till the structure of the building is up and in whatever material, brick, metal, whatever you want, concrete on the building is up. There's just all kinds of things, and they complicated. They do them with computer programs. The most common is called Primavera, and it lays out a critical path, and it tells you the time period you have to do each task, and they set them up so that you have an early start and a late start and an early finish and a late finish, and they do it that way because there's give and take in each one of those just a little bit, because something may be critical to another task, but they can start the task before you totally complete the previous task. They just can't finish it until that's done. And so that's where the follow-on task would have an early start date. You can actually start early. When 80% of this work is done, you just can't complete it until 100% of that work is done. So it's pretty complicated, but usually you can target where the task ran over its time and whether or not it was justified that it ran over its time because of a force majeure or something else. But with the COVID-19, it's harder to pinpoint where on a critical path the delay occurred because it could be occurring virtually everywhere just because you're having people sick out on you, and you just don't have the manpower. So it's kind of like it affects all the tasks. So in my clients' positions here, what I'd go back to say is that the clearest proof you would have for your scheduler, they do what they call manpower loading schedules on a construction job. So you have a manpower loading schedule that says you're going to work 5 days a week with 3 crews in 8-hour days. Now, if you can go back and show that you only worked with 2 or 2.5 crews on 5 hours a day for 8-hour days, and it affected all of the tasks on the critical path as a result, well, then that's how you would show it, that influence. Because I'm not meeting my manpower on it that I predicted I needed to get the job done during that time period. And by the way, I have my office records that my human resource person keeps, and it shows the number of people that out. It shows on our daily reports the size of the crews that were reporting that I had people out.